That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer,
But how is he
as the traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase them...
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible the traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this ballad.
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. Ask... Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had... Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friend, the story makes sense. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself.
Yeah, it does make sense. But it just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but...
Please wait a moment. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange...
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale?
I authored this record.
Huh? You wrote a...
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it...
Hold on. So this record survived?
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabuki-mono in other records will have been changed. Changing the information in Irminsul, but Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a
That's incredible!
And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember this story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent how it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moon. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and this memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail, that Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, so the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth, and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have... Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, and that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up!
Good idea.
You got it! Come on, Trev!